Okay, guys, we're gonna be reacting to this kind of video right over here. I just went on a big tangent for what she said, so let's see if she can get me onto more tangents. Let's fucking go.
Your career prospects and how you plan to go through the world. Like, you are specifically and intentionally refusing to learn anything, which just seems like a problem. There have been a bunch of...
Bro, I feel like you can learn with AI. That's the beauty of it. You search on the... Like, how do you learn? You search on Google. How the fuck does this thing work? You just ask AI. How the fuck does this thing work? You know? If something... You might think that, like, oh yeah, well, a Quora question might be less believable, but that's the problem of it. Like, when the information is so fucking obscure, you start to get like the shit that you can find, man. You can find a fucking Quora question, you're like, that's the only shit I know, like, how to do, man. Like, you're trying to fucking, like, well, how the fuck do I do astrology 5 moon circle, like, at the night of the bornless one with my ritual of like 2 sticks? Like, there's only like either one Quora question or ChatGPT. It's like, which one would you like? Which one would you choose, man? But yeah, this neither here or there. Let's fucking keep going.
Studies that have been published recently, because this whole AI thing is very young compared to like software development as a whole, and a lot of this research is saying like people.
Yeah, AI thing is very. I mean, if you look at it, depends on when. What she was like referencing to, because AI research has been a thing since like 1960s. The perceptron, which is perceptron, has been first published. Why the fuck isn't in 1957? Like, machine learning is a field. Progress, timeline, AI winter. Yeah, there was several AI had several AI winters, actually, by the way. But yeah, here we have computation. Yeah, I would say the most like where you would say if you asked people like, oh, when did people start researching AI? Because I noticed Wikipedia has like some weird ass antiquity Greek myths of how to incorporate the idea of intelligent automata, such as artificial beings. Oh, okay. So this is basically, okay, this is going very deep into history. I actually didn't even know this. But from what I know, basically, or like if you have like a course, like a university course on AI, what they would mostly teach you is probably something like this. Let me see, what is this picture about? Why can I not click on it? There we go. Okay, yeah, you'd probably learn about John McQuarrie, that's for sure. So yeah, like 1950s, 1960s. The perceptron is really important one. So the perceptron is oh, this is actually really interesting. Game theory, which would provide... Wait. Game theory on a thing? What? Was game theory 1950s? Oh, that's actually insane. I didn't even know this. This is really interesting. Okay, but less about this. What I'm trying to refer that, like, AI is less than software development, but you can kind of see that, like, software development, you know, like, software development. Fucking hell, I cannot. Development. Software development was a thing. Let me see. Why the fuck is it? There we go. Software engineering, yeah, software development, whatever the fuck. I wish. Yeah, software engineering was recognized as a separate field of engineering. So you can even see that these are 2 separate fields. One is just called artificial intelligence. Wow, it's not even machine learning. But yeah, when machine learning came to be, which is like, now that I think about it, it's important to have distinctions about this. So it's like important to have definitions of what I'm talking about here. So in her meaning that, like, oh yeah, we had like software development first, and then we had machine, and then AI. But if you want to like learn more about this, right, you can kind of see that like people have been talking about AI for a very long time, like the study of the perceptron, which is like the very fundamental thing in machine learning. And you can also see that like artificial intelligence and machine learning isn't the same thing. Artificial intelligence is basically a layer above machine learning. Machine learning is the layer in it, and in the layer in it is deep learning, which is like deep learning used to be a very fancy word. Now it's just, now deep learning is basically AI because that's what everybody fucking talks about. But AI basically, or deep learning, is basically the neural networks and using deep neural networks, meaning that you have a very like very many layers and very holy fuck, I cannot believe I forgot. Columns, yeah, rows, whatever the hell, yeah. But it's basically like improving, making a deeper neural network architecture, so with more nodes and more outputs and inputs and stuff like that. That's the gist of it. But the most important thing about it is that like she's saying that like yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of good shit here, I can't lie. This is really nice. We're not gonna go through all of this, but it's I recommend reading this. But basically machine learning is a very deep field of study, and it has been a field of study for like 80 years at least. And I would say it's like when you started the perceptron, that was like the big thing of it, and then of course it had multiple AI winters, multiple like if I can find the timeline again, yeah, fucking good luck finding the timeline again, because I fucking don't even know what page it was on. But it, as you saw before, yeah, okay, I guess this is a way of saying it, but no. But it had a couple of AI winters. Well, it was just like people made the perceptron, and then they were like, well, how the fuck do we update the weights? They were like, well, how the fuck do we update the weights? So backpropagation wasn't even a fucking thing, except for like after the first AI winter. After the first AI winter, that's when people have discovered that, oh shit, we can use backpropagation to update the weights. And for people that do not know about backpropagation is probably the if you understand backpropagation like from the get-go, I would say you could be like a machine learning engineer, because this is like I would say backpropagation is kind of like the hardest topic to understand at first, like when you get into machine learning, how to update weights, how backpropagation inherently works mathematically. It's like one of the hardest like mathematical concepts that you kind of need to understand. But after you understand that, it becomes so clear on like what you're like essentially doing mathematically when you're like inferring like any kind of data, any type of data. But backpropagation, oh my god, I'm spelling it wrong. But yeah, it's backpropagation. Yes. When was it? Come on, give me the time frame of when the fuck this thing became a thing. Oh my god. Yeah, it follows the chain rule. That's okay. The chain rule was in 1676. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the modern version of it, 1970s, and yes, okay. So we had huge research when this thing became a thing. So in 1982s, when like the backpropagation application, because okay, the way I remember this now, I actually remember it was like because like people were researching. A lot of people were basically researching the same thing, but they didn't know that they were researching the same thing. But then they figured out, oh shit, we're actually researching the same thing, and then they had like interdisciplinary shit. But yeah, less about that. what I'm trying to say here is that like here's like the history of machine learning, like in terms of study. Like when it comes to software engineering or like software development, like like how big of a study does software development really have? Not really much. Therefore, this statement,
it's very young compared to like software development as a whole. And
yeah. So, but AI, but I do give credit where credit is due. Is that she's saying like AI like is very new when it comes to being applied to software development, and I agree with that statement. I completely agree where she's coming from. But I'm just trying to say that like AI has a very big history, and it's very cool to learn. So you should check it out.
a lot of this research is saying like people who use AI tools end up relying on them. They're not saving any time. They're less productive. Their coworkers don't trust their work.
Okay, people who use AI tools, are they relying on them? Aren't we all relying on our technology? Like, aren't we all like remove your phone, like go like I don't know 1 week without your phone. How the fuck you gonna? Dude, I had a bank that like I needed to confirm my identity through the phone with my bank. And at that point, I realized if I didn't have a phone right now, there is no way for me to like confirm my identity. It would be like fucking bullshit. So I'm just trying to say that, like, you use your phone for a lot of fucking shit. That is like that, dude. Like even like identification and stuff like that. You know, it is through the phone. So you cannot just remove the phone out of fucking nowhere. You know, and so I'm just trying to say it's like we need technology, you know. Imagine having not having like any screens at all. Imagine like removing phone, removing computer. How the fuck you gonna do your work now, you know? Especially like if you're a software engineer, well, you're reliant on, you know, technology. You're reliant on this kind of things. And I think you can say the same thing with like people who use AI to do certain things. Is that like, oh well, that's the tool that you're using. You're reliant on this tool. Like remove a hatchet from a woodcutter. What is he gonna cut it with his hands? Like, yes, he needs the hatchet, you know, like he knows how to use it, he learns how to use it. He's like, oh well, you can use a saw, that's another method of using it. But what, like, it all depends. In some case scenarios, it's better to use a saw. A saw is also better to use if you're like two people. So if there's more, but if you're alone, you can use a hatchet, and it all depends on like the depth of the tree, maybe how long you're gonna cut for, all of this kind of shit. And so it's like saying, well, these people are addicted to fucking AI. They have to use it. It's like, what the fuck?
Work as much. So by vibe coding, you are specifically preventing yourself from learning, preventing yourself from improving. You are dampening your skill set. You are lowering your future income prospects. And
you can just learn what the fuck it tries to vibe code. Again, I've said this before, but there's like a spectrum of vibe coding. You can have like one with you're just not trying to learn, you're just trying to make a product, right? That's like the highest level of vibe coding. But another thing is that like when you're trying to like use it as like a learning thing for something else. Let's say like, oh yeah, let me figure out how to do this. Let me figure out how to do this, and you use vibe coding for that. You're like explicitly stating that you're trying to look at the code. You're trying to understand what it's about. Stuff like that.
it seems like a dumb thing to do. You ever think about our entire economy right now is propped up by like 4 or 5 companies who just intend to keep buying GPUs. Like they will increase the amount of GPUs they purchase every quarter. And so everyone's like, the economy's really good right now. And it's just like, but what happens when they find like, the business model doesn't work because AI doesn't create anything new, and the people who use it get dumber and less productive? Like what's the end game? Like it's been, I want to say 4 years of like ChatGPT, and the only businesses are companies like this. This company wants to have access to my YouTube channel so that they can create a newsletter for me. Use AI tools to make a newsletter. They will give the
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good point. I want to say that there's something called, there's a very good book called AI Snake Oil. And the AI Snake Oil, this book right over here, I've read it. I think it's a great book. Holy moly, what the hell? Yeah, AI Snake Oil. This is a very good book. I completely recommend it. It's basically about people who overbelieve in AI and overbelieve in what AI can actually do. So there's like AI for like fucking anything right now. There's like AI for like, okay, how good of a worker will your future worker be? So they take like a picture of somebody and they say like, okay, how well they score on like assertiveness or like confidence or like whatever the hell, right? And then like what like if you change your background picture on Zoom, for example, instead of like having like a whiteboard background, to instead having like books, you will score higher on intuition. For some random, like the most random ass thing. And it's just like it clearly says that like people are just like, some of these things are just people are overhyping it. So like AI is not like magically fucking curing cancer or anything like that. It's just something that helps us right now, and I feel like it's important to be very critical on what AI can do and what AI cannot do. And for that, I recommend the AI snake oil. If you are much more of a lecture, if you're much more of a video watcher, this thing, AI snake oil. Yeah, some of this one, MIT, when it came out, I think I watched it on day one when it came out. It was great. This is very good lecture. I highly recommend this.
AI.
Because that's like, all I'm just trying to say here is that like, it's important to be critical of AI, but it's important to be critical of the correct things to be critical about. I feel like a lot of people's criticism of AI is that they have no idea how AI really works or like what AI can really do. You know, they are just like either hating it for the sake of hating it and like just spewing the most like dry arguments as possible, or they're like blatantly following as like the Bible from God, you know? I think it's important to have a best of both worlds and to be critical, but also be critical of the right things. And if you want to learn, okay, what are the things that I should be critical of, really recommend this video. Very good video. But yeah, let's go next.
Video, and the AI will summarize it and write up a newsletter, and then it will send it out, I guess, to people who have agreed to get this newsletter in exchange for some sort of money. And I just, presumably people who would sign up for a newsletter I was going to write would, I don't know, watch my videos already.
Yeah, this is not even AI. This is just a company just telling you, hey man, we can make a newsletter for your shit, and if you want, you can have a newsletter. They just use the word AI as like a fancy thing, but at the end of the day, you're just making a newsletter. Like, do you need a newsletter? I think 99% of people don't fucking need a newsletter. I'm fucking honest, but it's up to you what you want to do with your channel.
So why would they want to receive a summary of a video? And also, who would pay to receive AI slop? You know, like it would just immediately be garbage. I would have to spend so much time editing it to make sure it still made sense, to check, you know, because there's no fidelity in AI. I would have to make sure all of the points I made in the video were maintained, and it would just be a lot of work on my part. And you want me to give you money to do this for me? It's just like, it's a crazy, stupid business. It doesn't make any sense. It feels like that's what all of these are. Like your Microsoft Copilot can summarize.
Yeah, crazy, stupid business doesn't make any sense. Yep, AI snake oil. Yeah, I'm not gonna defend that newsletter idea because I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like dog shit. It really is. It's just like using the word AI for the sake of like, hey, we use AI, trust us, XD, we are good, we can summarize your videos, and it's like, who the fuck needs this shit? Like, you have to sometimes you have to ask like, wow, what's the point? Why do we need this? You know, and but AI can also be useful. You know, like there's been a lot of talk about like AI for therapy, and for some people are like, oh, don't use AI for therapy, and other people are like, well, how many therapists are there like out there, and like we still don't have like you know, not everybody has access to therapy, you know, like either they don't have money or whatever the fuck. And so like I'm not sitting here like defending one side or another. I'm just trying to say that like there's a reason why this is happening. You know, everything has like a reaction and action and reaction, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Summary is just a thing. Like summarization of like research articles and stuff like that. It helps. It helps to save time. For example, like me watching this video in 1.5 speed it fucking helps to save time. And it's just like, oh, well, you're using AI by speeding up the video. Oh my god, how could you? You AI tech savvy guy, what the fuck? You know, it's like, what?
Summarize emails and respond for you. And who has a job where it doesn't matter whether or not they read their emails? Like, all the emails I get are usually very short, so they don't need a summary. And it's like meeting confirmations, quick questions. If I ever received an email that was so long that I would want it summarized, it's probably really important and I should read all of it. Like, I don't, like, what is the product? What are you trying to sell me? Because, like, would you feel comfortable if you owned a business that your workers were not reading their own emails? Would you feel comfortable that they were just having some magic black box create text for your website? Like, I don't think so. What's the business? Who is this for? Or look at this. So I made a video about how I built a radio telescope in Kentucky, and I got this comment. And in the video, I did not say why I built the telescope in Kentucky, because I'm in Massachusetts, but not for long. She's moving, she's packing, it's fine. I built the telescope in Kentucky because I don't have a yard, and you need a yard. And also, I just kind of felt that there would be way more human radio signals that would interfere in a big city like Boston versus Kentucky. And we were going down for July 4th anyway to see family, and I was like, you have a yard, can I build a telescope? So we built it, took data, took it down, and we're back in Massachusetts. Not for long, she's moving. Okay, so, like, this isn't a dumb comment. The person was like, why not just build it? And that's the answer. I had to drive it down, took it apart, it's still there. I am moving, maybe I will have a yard to put it up. But anyway, look at the AI response. Google's AI tools are just so fucking useful. Google wants me to...
That was the closest home report for this project, but you could bring it up a grand point. I had to make this video more clear and nice. I mean, are you really triggered over, like, automated answers, replies you can make? Like genuinely. It's like, nobody's forcing you to pick these things. Like, I'll be honest. Like, it's trash, I agree. It's like Google Translate back in the day. I mean, it still is. You know, it's like, you Google Translate something, it gives you the most confusing ass fucking shit, but it kind of gets the point. You know, you can kind of decipher something out of it from the translation that it's providing. And then it's like, you go on YouTube and you're like, oh yeah, well, look at all these fucking translations it's giving me. It's basically the same shit here.
Promote engagement by automatically responding to comments with these replies. And this is the reply. Of course, Kentucky has the only Home Depot. Like, what? It's nonsense. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's a sentence that makes sense, but it's not a response to the question, and it doesn't actually make sense. Do you know what I mean? In isolation, that is a sentence. But does Google really want me to just, like, respond to a bunch of comments with these auto responses? Because, like, how would the...
No, I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I think for some people, they just don't comment at all. So they're like, what the fuck should I comment to this? Like, oh wait, what a great video, I really enjoyed it. And then that's when, like, an automated response would be like, oh yeah, thank you for the kind message. You know, that would be like an automated response. It was just like, some people just have no fucking clue how to answer to comments, right? And so I think it's like made for those kind of things. And like, the problem is that, like, AI cannot, like, differentiate that was like a response that would be good, like very sophisticated, and what's a response that would be like, okay, this is just nonsense. So it just, like, kind of uses it on every single comment, and it's just like, oh yeah, well, it is what it is, c'est la vie, you know?
Viewers feel if I just started AI responding to comments. Like, lots of like, wow, you brought up a good point, exclamation point. Like, that's not how people talk. That's how LLMs talk.
I mean, who the fuck cares? I'm gonna be fucking honest. Like, who's out there reading fucking YouTube comments? I'm gonna be honest, if you, like, I understand people who read the YouTube comments, I'll be honest, but I myself am more of a literature reader, so I would rather pull up, I don't know, a book of Dostoevsky and try reading that instead of like some random ass fucking comments from fucking YouTube video. I'm gonna be fucking honest, man. Like, I'm not the target demographic for YouTube comment reading, and so, like, who the fuck knows? But I think it's a waste of time reading YouTube comments, in my opinion, at least. It's just nonsense. It's just smarky nonsense. Sometimes people say something, and, like, most of the time, people say something that you're thinking, you would think to yourself, like, how the fuck can people think this way? And that's like YouTube comments in a nutshell. Like, there's nothing good out of fucking reading comments, in my opinion. Like fucking, like, I haven't read the comments down there, and I don't even want to scroll down to read. I have no interest.
That's not how people talk. So what is the purpose? I feel like this would just piss people off if I just started clicking. And it's nonsense. It's crazy that this is supposed to be a product that's worth billions of dollars. I don't get it. I don't think so. And also, just please notice how complimentary the AI suggested comments are. We will get to that. Now we know what vibe coding is. What is vibe physics? Presumably, Travis is implying, like, the same definition, right? Fully giving into the vibes, embracing exponentials, and forgetting the...
Okay, this is gonna be fun, because this is actually the meat of the video. So she was just fucking yapping for about what vibe coding was about, went off a fucking tangent during YouTube comments. But now we're getting into the title of the fucking video. It took us 13 minutes, but we're getting there.
Physics even exists. He's going to get to what's known about quantum physics and push beyond that via text communication with an LLM.
And we're approaching what's known, and I'm trying to poke and see if there's breakthroughs to be had. And I've gotten pretty damn close to some interesting breakthroughs just doing that.
I don't like the idea of vibe coding. I think that's bad, but I can understand its use case. Like if you're not an aspiring software developer and you just want to, I don't know, send your friend an email with an executable, and when she clicks it, it makes a sound that's like beep. You could do that by vibe coding, right? You could send a prompt to an LLM that's like, create an executable that opens a GUI that has a button on it that says push me, and when the user clicks on that button, it goes beep. And then you could iterate it, right? You could be like, oh, I'd like the lines to be more squiggly, and I'd like the text to be black and the button to be red. And then eventually you would get to something that works, and you could send it, and your friend gets the email, and she clicks on it, it's like, beep, and it's fine. Like, you're not trying to understand how that works. You're not a coder. This is not your job. You just wanted to make a little thing. You could totally vibe code for that. Like, that's fine. That would totally work. And of course, using an LLM to do that would be way faster than learning how to do, like, coding with a graphics package and downloading a text editor. And
okay, she's back into the vibe coding tangent. So this is not vibe physics anymore. We're separating them for no reason.
all that stuff. I understand the use case of vibe coding, but vibe physics doesn't make sense. I mean, you can use LLMs to solve physics problems. Like, you could go and type in, you push a 10-kilogram box across a table with a force of 64 newtons and it takes 4 seconds to stop. How far did it go? And I'm sure the LLM could solve that problem. I maintain that you will have to check it, and I also maintain that that will absolutely not teach you physics, because watching someone, even if it's an LLM, solve a problem is not how you learn physics. You actually have to do it yourself and use your brain, but like, it'll give you the right answer, probably, for something simple like that. But you have to check. Doing physics, like professionally, is not about getting the right answer. Doing physics is about developing an understanding of the physical world, right? Vibe coding specifically requires you not to understand what the code does. In its definition, vibe coding means you're just trusting the LLM to make the product, and you test the product, and if it works, you're like, you did it. You're not.
I think this whole video is just fucking semantics point at this point, because she clearly states that like vibe coding means that you do not want to understand what the thing product is doing. But in my opinion, at least you cannot in your right mind say that like you're vibe coding something and you don't want to understand how to do it, because then you wouldn't do it in the first place. If you don't want to understand how the fuck to do it, you wouldn't do it in the first place. I feel like the reason like that, so like, what I'm trying to say is that like, because you're vibe coding something, you're essentially wanting to understand how something works. Because if you didn't, you would just be like, oh, well, fuck this shit. Why should I make it? You know, like, why the fuck am I making this? Just make somebody else to make this for me, or whatever the hell. Because like, you have to really understand like, what kind of person doesn't want to like understand what they're vibe coding? Well, for the first thing, it might be like a CEO or something, right? And he I don't know, wants to vibe code his application or like website to save money, right? So that's like one thing. You want to make something to not pay for it, right? But then when you start making it, you have to kind of, you start having, you kind of start researching about, well, how the fuck does this thing work? How the fuck does a web shop work? Because you want to make a web shop, right? You can't just LLM will make a web shop, but you there's like, you will very easily hit a fucking wall and say, okay, this shit doesn't work anymore. Let me get the fuck out of here. There will reach a point with your vibe coding that you're like, oh shit, I need to know more knowledge about this thing. Let's say you want to add networking in an engine. You're like, oh shit, yeah, I need networking in an engine. How the fuck do I do that? ChatGPT? And then like, oh yeah, just use this sockets functionality in this kind of thing, and everything will be okay. And then you're like, oh, okay, sockets functionality in this thing, okay, everything will be okay. Okay, I solved this. We have networking. We have 2 players. And then you're like, well, fuck. But I want to make it like a MMO, like a multiplayer online game. Well, how the fuck do I do that? You know, you're thinking to yourself, well, sockets, like. Then you're like prompting ChatGPT, I want to make an MMO, and then they're like, ChatGPT is like, oh no, you cannot make an MMO through sockets, bro. Blood, are you stupid, bro? And then you're like, well, fuck, bro, I guess I am fucking stupid. Thank you for telling me that, ChatGPT. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's like you end up fucking learning about the shit that you want to fucking do, no matter like what the fuck it is.
Understanding what's in that code. It is a black box. That is not how physics works. The whole point of doing problems and running simulations and doing experiments is to understand physics. Vibe physics as a concept does not make sense. Let me give you an example of an unsolved problem in physics. Turbulence. You know turbulence. It's like turbulent flow. It's fluid dynamics, but it's chaotic. And you can't or we don't at this moment, have a system of equations that perfectly describes these systems. We can predict the onset of turbulent flow, like when that will happen, the time scale, but then you get these little vortexes and like heat is transferred in a way that's not intuitive, and we don't understand turbulent flow. It is an unsolved problem. Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. When it comes to learning new things, like you think like, this is, now we're back to AI snake oil again. You cannot make something new out of the data. Like, your AI will only be good as the data that it's fed into. So if the data that is trained on is shit, your AI is shit. Like, it's as simple as that, right? So of course, if the AI has never heard about like any like complexities of turbulence, like never heard like possible solutions to turbulence, it cannot solve turbulence. Like, it will not be able to do that. Yes, that is true. What it can do is give you like a feeling that you're doing it, but like, oh, well, we haven't solved turbulence, but what if we did this like Schrödinger's equation or whatever the fuck, which is nothing to do with turbulence, by the way, but it's just to like the most random shit. And then AI ChatGPT will be like, oh yeah, it could be possible, we might have a very revolutionary breakthrough in physics just because you noticed that. You see, that's like, it tries to give you a response that you would like, so that at the end of the day, it just gives you a response that you feel that you're like solving something, you know? Like, bro, you can talk with like the best physicist, like 5 best physicists in the world, right? But the problem is that like that talk is just a talk. You need to, like, you propose a thesis, you need to see if that thesis and your hypothesis in that thesis, those hypotheses in that thesis, or those statements in the thesis are true. So you can propose statements, but you need to do research, you need to do experiments and etc. to, well, you need to do experiments. There are many different ways of doing research, but experiments is like the most prevalent in physics. But you do experiments to see if your thesis, if your statement is correct or not, right? So you can make a bunch of statements to a fucking chatbot, but it doesn't even know if the statements are correct or not, because it has no data to back those fucking claims, because it's a new and unresearched thing. You can make as much statements as on turbulence that have never been like stated before, but all it will output you is that like, yeah, nobody has ever thought about that. That's a very good idea. And that's like essentially what you're getting into. You're getting into that kind of territory, because when it came out, I was really wanting to see how far you can take ChatGPT, right? If you talk about it, summarizing like a plot to like a very obscure movie that it knows that the movie exists, but it doesn't know what the movie is about. For example, Bong Joon-ho's Egg movie, which was like 37 minutes long. It was like shown at like one festival or some shit like that. It was just like, it's no other place. Like, it's like fucking lost media, man. You cannot fucking find it anywhere, right? You can only find like a 13-second clip on like Facebook or something, right? So nobody has any fucking idea. So I made it so that like, I tried to basically gaslight the ChatGPT into thinking that the story was about my friend who was like searching for an egg. And you like, basically what happened is that it was gaslighted enough to actually believe that. And it was like, I was just thinking about it. I was just like, yeah, this is AI in a nutshell. It's how it works. If it doesn't have any information about something specific, you can just make it seem that like that could be the specific information. And that's really what it is. It's just, and I feel like, I don't know if this is what they're doing with like vibe physics when it comes to like, oh, we're reaching the edge of territory of like vibe physics, and like we're doing ground breakthroughs with ChatGPT, bro. Like, nobody, like how many fucking scientists be like, okay, I wonder what my next research is gonna be. ChatGPT, what are the 5 popular things to research right now in my field? Like is that how research is gonna be in like 5 years? You know, like, it's just like, I don't fucking know, man. It's I don't know.
Imagine you're a software developer and you have created a machine learning tool to look at videos of clouds. So like atmospheric weather is an example of turbulence sometimes. And you have 1,000 videos of turbulence developing, and you give it to your machine learning algorithm, and it analyzes all this data and it develops a model of predicting when turbulent flow will happen. You have like 1,000 different movies that haven't been used to train the model, and you use that to test your model, and it's great. You can predict when the turbulence will happen. You can predict like the scale or the magnitude of it, how long it will last, and you use this to start making a weather prediction model. So like you take what the clouds look like now, and you're like, will be tornado, and it works. It works. It's amazing. You've done it, right? You understand turbulence now. No, you don't, right? Because all you have is a algorithm that takes data and tells you some information. You don't understand what is actually happening inside the clouds. You don't understand.
You just look at, you don't know the data that it's trying to infer. That's a very, very good thing. And there's something like XAI, explainable AI, is trying to solve. And there's two ways of doing XAI, explainable AI. Is the one thing you can try making it even in the model, like inside of the inference. So inside of the calculations. And another way of doing explainable AI is that like you explain how the AI came with the conclusion based on the output. So it gives you an output, and the AI would be like, oh, okay, well, it came to this output probably because of the line it doesn't understand the black box in it. Yeah, interesting.
Understand the physics of the situation. Like you're basically just running a simulation and saying like yes or no, tornado, right? If you want to understand it on the basic physics level, you want equations of motion. You want to be able to calculate every single time step. You want to understand the underlying mechanisms that are causing the turbulence and how the different parameters influence the development.
I agree.
So you take your code and you're like, hey,
even randomness. I feel like there's mathematical equations to understand that randomness, because you can have like Bayesian randomness, but you can also have where there's like a well, what I'm trying to say with like Bayesian probability, randomness, whatever the fuck, is that like you have like a curve, right? You have like a curve of like the highest probable chance is in the middle, right? And it sort of spreads as you go to the bell curve. So as you go away from the bell curve, it gets less, right? But then you can also do it the opposite way, where you have like the randomness be like equal on all stages. For example, rolling a dice, right? Rolling a dice, it's not like the tree is the average Actually, now I think about it, what's the highest probable? Oh my god, I hope I'm not thinking about something else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's thing. Oh my god, I actually forgot. But yeah, for example, rolling dice, the probability of landing on each side is equal, because it's not like you will get 3 like as the highest chance to get something. No, it will be all of them. All of them will be equally distributed. And that's like there's a mathematical equation for those kind of distributions and how they work and like how to calculate with them and stuff like that.
How are you predicting this? Give me the equations you're using, okay? It will do this. Your machine learning tool will give you the equations it's using. Great, so now you did it, right? You have an equation, you understand turbulence, right? You did it. No, you didn't, because this equation is going to be a huge sum of exponentials. It's going to have like 175 terms, and you will not understand, and you cannot get this information from your algorithm, how it developed this equation. It didn't derive it. It did an algorithmic iteration until it arrived at it. So this doesn't tell you anything about the underlying physics. I mean, maybe you could use your machine learning algorithm for some system, and it gives you an equation with like 8 terms, and you could try to work backwards and Frankenstein an idea of what the underlying physics is from that. But problems like turbulence are just non-tractable. You get 175 terms, you don't understand the underlying physics, okay? Vibe physics doesn't make any sense. These long-standing physics problems like turbulence are non-tractable in an analytic way, which is why they are unsolved problems. And people already do this, by the way. This is like a 20-year-old example of machine learning, but that's fine. The goal of physics is understanding. The goal of vibe coding is producing a product. Vibe physics doesn't make sense, okay? And I would argue that vibe coding is probably a bad idea too, but like that's fine. This is a cringy and embarrassing thing to say.
Vibe coding, except it's vibe physics.
And honestly, just imagine the rest of his life where everybody who ever Googles him comes upon this.
But I feel like that's the problem with it. It's kind of like the same statements that she made here. Like, so like software engineering and the AI, artificial intelligence, is like, it depends what you mean by that. I'm guessing like what he means with like vibe physics is that he was just, he has just like no clue what the fuck physics is, but he used ChatGPT to learn about physics. That's like what he means by vibe physics. I'm guessing, So it's like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, it really does. It's just a fucking nothing burger. This whole video is a nothing burger. My video is a nothing burger, man. We're all just yapping at this point.
This video, like, this is the first thing they see about this guy. It's embarrassing.
Vibe physics.
But probably less embarrassing than the whole ignoring sexual harassment and mistreating the people who work for you and made you a billionaire, I guess. I think if you clicked on this video, you knew I was just going to make fun of vibe physics because it's just a very stupid thing to say. It's like obviously an embarrassingly stupid thing to say, but I don't think that's the whole issue here. I think there is an underlying problem. Crackpot emails have changed a lot in the last 18 months. There are a lot of people now using their conversations with these chat boxes as evidence that their theory has merit. They will say things like, I checked 2 different LLMs and they both said that this was a devastating physics solution and it's going to topple quantum mechanics, and it's just... I don't usually respond, but if I do, I respond with something like this. ChatGPT is a magic box that will agree with whatever you say, which includes making up answers and incorrectly doing math. If you want to be a physicist, you must learn physics. There is no cheat code. ChatGPT will not teach you physics. And then the weirdest thing happens. They totally agree with me. They agree with me 100%. Say, of course I know about the hallucinations. Of course I know that I've had issues in the past where I've had to correct it on basic math, but like, now that we've moved beyond the physics I understand, it's amazing, right? Look at it. There must be something there. The chat box said so. Our boy Travis does the exact same thing, right?
I pinged you on at some point. I'm just like,
I think
dude, if I'm...
they're gonna do an Kruger effect, which is like the less you know about something, the more confident you are in knowing about it.
If I'm
because you just do not know what you need to know about it.
doing this, and I'm super amateur hour physics enthusiast, like there's a lot of mistakes I was seeing Brock make that then I would correct and we would talk about it. No, it cannot come up with a new idea. And when I come up with a new idea, I have to really, it's like pulling a donkey sort of, you're pulling it because it doesn't want to break conventional wisdom. It eventually goes, oh shit, you got something. You have to go, okay, it said that, but I'm not sure. Like you have to double and triple check to make sure.
According to Travis, he is an amateur physics enthusiast, okay? He was chatting with the chat box about basic physics and it made fundamental errors, which he corrected. And then he says, I know these things can't come up with anything new. However, if you pull it like a donkey, you can get to the edge of physics. And even though he knows these 3 things, he says these 3 things, he is still under the impression that ChatGPT is somehow doing this amazing thing. It is somehow pushing new physics. New physics is going to happen. It's going to be new physics. Imagine if grad students had a chat box. Imagine you're chatting with a chat box and it doesn't understand friction and you correct it and it's like, wow, great, thank you so much. And then you ask it if
grad students already have a chatbot. It's called ChatGPT. Anybody can fucking use it. You don't have to be a grad student to fucking use it.
gravitons exist, and you're like, whoa, what an amazing answer, oh my god, it's so smart. And it's like, but you just had to correct it. How do you see the dissonance? Like, everyone who uses these chat box know that they make stuff up. They have seen things that are just blatantly incorrect. It says things that are wrong. But also it's amazing, oh my god, it's so scary how good these things are going to be at physics. Oh my god, and we don't even need scientists anymore. It's like a real Terminator situation. And it's just like, how do you get there from the first 2 things?
We don't need scientists anymore. It's the most bullshit statement I've heard, man. I'm gonna be honest.
And it's just my opinion, so like, dip out now if that's not your thing. So I think an overlooked component of AI discourse is how little respect AI enthusiasts have for people who create things and do stuff. It's most obvious in the art space, I think. Like, they spent the 2000s just, you deserve to live in poverty because you wanted to make art. Why did you get that underwater basket weaving degree? You should have went into tech. Like, how dare you think that you deserve to be paid for your drawings? Boo, right? But now suddenly there's a tool that can make art, and now they want to get involved. Now they want to make art. Like, art in quotation marks, because it's garbage and I don't want to see it. I don't want to see your stupid AI bullshit. But suddenly there's a thing that they can use to make art without any effort, without any time having to like study the classics,
oh my god,
learn
such fucking tribalism here. They, us, them. What is this coming from, man? Like, I don't like it. I think you need to be a little bit specific. It's just like, not every single person out there was like, oh yeah, well, artists deserve to be starved for their stuff. Like, I think it's just a loud minority or some shit like that. I don't fucking know, bro. I'm getting tired of this video. I'm gonna be fucking honest with you.
On their skills, and now they want to do it. And it's the same thing with physics. Do they want to spend 8 years doing math and problem sets? Do they want to be sitting in a lab at 2 a.m. fiddling with components trying?
No, they don't. Like, guys, I'm telling you this from your own point. Like, I love psychology, but I don't want to fucking spend 10 hours a day fucking talking to mentally ill people, right? Like, I love reading about psychology. And so you don't need to do that. You know, you can just read psychology on the side of your own job. Just have a job that you really enjoy, whatever it can be. Like, let's say you love baking. You love baking and you also love psychology, right? And so go be a baker, and on the side, you're just like, read about psychology, you study it a little bit, but you don't like, you don't actually actively like, you go out there like patients, talk to patients, stuff like that, you know, or like wipe other people's shit, for example, because like, take care of the elderly with that kind of stuff, you know, wipe elders' fucking piss and all of that kind of shit. It's just like, you can just vibe, you just have fun with your main job and just have it on the side as like an interest, you know? And that's kind of like, in a nutshell, like, nobody, you don't need to fucking commit 100% working in the lab at 2 a.m. all these kind of component bullshits to be interested in physics, you know? And all of these kind of like ground breakthroughs and all things that I'm saying, dude, there's so many people who yap about. You know what I realized? You know what I fucking realized, actually, guys? Is that, like, there's so many people that just yap about shit, you know? And it's just about, like, sometimes just let them yap, and you don't need to comment about their yap, even. Just let them yap and be like, yeah, cool, okay, move on. You know, it's just like, you don't need to be like, well, what you're saying is wrong, what you're saying is this, what you're saying is that, blah, 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 you know, start arguing with them. It's just waste of time, waste of energy, because these people are gonna be yapping no matter what. You start arguing about them with one topic, they're gonna change to something else. You know, they're like they're a CEO yapping about vibe physics, you know, and then you start saying that, like, oh yeah, vibe physics are bullshit, oh my god, how could you? And then he's like, oh, okay, moving on. Now, cars this year made very bad sale, we need to do something about that. And then you're like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? You know, it's just like, I'm gonna be honest, it's just let people who like yapping just yap, and try not to get attached to their yapping. Try not to be like, oh, well, what they're saying is wrong, oh my god, or what they're saying is, like, I don't know, fucking will of the god or whatever the hell. Just be like, oh yeah, there are people out there in the world who do this kind of shit, and, you know, that's it, man. But yeah, we have an ecosystem of people that do yap. I myself also, I yap about this video because I wanted to yap about this video. She yaps about another video because she wanted to yap about this. It's a whole ecosystem of fucking yapping, man. We all are just yappers at the end of the day. And what I'm trying to say is that, like, just let people yap, man. Because that's what it is, man. Like if this guy believes that, like, ChatGPT will have groundbreaking truth in physics, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter that, like, if we are gonna have groundbreaking truths in physics with ChatGPT or not gonna have groundbreaking truths in ChatGPT. This video isn't gonna, like, fucking change anything, man. It's just gonna be like, oh yeah, cool. 100,000 people saw it, bro. Those 100,000 people could be in Africa for all people care. You know, it's like, it's like, who cares? I don't fucking know, man. It's at the end of the day, this is what I'm just feeling for talking about right now.
Trying to figure out why the signal says like 8.4601 kilohertz instead of 8.392 kilohertz. No, they don't. But now there's a little chat box they can talk to that gives them compliments and tells them how smart and beautiful and wonderful are. And suddenly they want to do physics. Yeah. It's just, there's this underlying
yeah, I mean, if they want to do that, they want to do that. What's the problem with it, man? They want to do physics, you know? Oh my god, look at this guy. He likes physics, but he likes physics through ChatGPT. He's not a real physicist. He cannot call himself physicist. He's not trying to do that. He's just like, oh yeah, well, I enjoy physics, man. I use ChatGPT to look at physics, you know? Like, there's a difference between somebody who's, like, a little bit religious and somebody who's, like, studied the Bible and fucking knows every single sentence out of every single book, you know? Are both equally Christian? I don't know, man. Like, I don't fucking know. Maybe. It depends who you ask, you know? But that's the same thing about it. It's like, you would say, like, okay, well, a professional physicist is somebody who's, like, actually actively in the research and knows about the latest trends and the latest trends in physics and the latest trends in the research and who the notable figures in those research are. Yeah, you know, but do you need to be, like, a scientist to keep up with that? No, you can just do it. You just have fun doing it. It's like, somebody comes out and saying, well, I really enjoy drawing, and they're like, oh, you haven't studied the past, like, 5,000 years of art history, so you cannot say you enjoy drawing. It's like, who the fuck cares, man? It's just like a guy yapping about how much he enjoys, you know, studying physics, and they're like, ooh, quantum physics are pretty cool, woohoo, and that's it. It's just like, you know, like, I'm not gonna say, like, physics is not my favorite subject. Not at all. Fucking not at all. Like, I'm a little bit interested in, like, quantum mechanics because people were like, oh yeah, maybe we can, like, use it in AI, but I was like, does not sound that well. I mean, does not sound that good. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let's go next.
Hostility that AI enthusiasts have for people who, you know, practice and hone their skills and get training to do things. Experts, like medical doctors or carpenters, or those people who can sit in a closet with those little things and make music. Those people have spent a lot of time doing a thing until they became great at it. Like, they have trained, they have worked hard, they have practiced.
Oh, so you're just saying they don't have skill. You're just people who use ChatGPTs do not have skill. And I, who spent years honing that skill, I'm better than them. Is this what we call skillism? Or like skillicism? Or skillism? The believable of that skill is everything in life? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. You know? Like, what? Like, I don't know.
To refine their skills so that they can do tasks in an amazing way that the average person cannot. They get respect for that, right? Because they worked hard. And there is a certain group of people who are always pissed about that. Like, what do you mean I can't be a famous theoretical physicist unless I go and learn math?
There's a certain group of people who are always pissed about that. There's a certain group of people who are always pissed about anything, man. Be it the most fucking famous movie, there are people out there who fucking hate it. It's called taste, but like some of it is because of like, you know, subjective taste. Another thing is just people do not like, you know, somebody who's rich, and they're like, oh, well, I hate rich people. Or somebody who's poor, and be like, oh, I hate poor people. Like, oh, you know, it's like, you know, there's always somebody out there who's just not pleased with it. And like, you cannot please every single person in this world. Like, it just doesn't fucking work. It's not like every single person likes everything at the same time. And it's not like every single person is going to be happy about every single thing, you know? There are people out there who do not like democracy. Which is like, what the fuck? But there are people out there who want to fucking live in a dictatorship, you know? Because, I don't know, they feel more safe, you know? Some shit like that. I have no fucking clue what the fuck reason. They might have the most random ass fucking reason. It's just the thing that they want to do. For some random reason, they fucking decided to do that. Now, should you fucking, like... Should you go to the person, start arguing about them in, like, 5 hours? Why the fuck they should change their view and, like, think about something else? No, it's like a waste of time. Rather just go do something you enjoy, man. Like, life isn't to be fucking pleasing other people, like explaining other people how the fuck to live.
Math, that's not fair. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but like now those people can use a chat box and they think it gives them the same skills, and now they are demanding the same respect. Do you know what I mean? Suddenly, in their imaginations.
Nothing in that clip that you sent me did that guy say he demanded respect. He was just really interested in physics. That was it. Like he didn't even say anything about respect. But you kind of see it. You kind of see how you can start getting into these kind of like, oh well, you say this, so you demand respect, and that's why I hate you. It's just like this is what I'm trying to say, guys. Yap is yap, man. Yap is yap, and let people yap, man. Like it doesn't have to be about respect or not respect or whatever the hell. Like I don't fucking know. Like what where does this respect thing come from? Like who the fuck like there's elitism in everything. There's elitism in everything. There's even like, oh well, I know more about physics than you, so I demand respect. Or like oh, I have watched more YouTube videos, so I know more about it than you, so I demand respect. Okay, you can demand respect in fucking anything. It doesn't have to be in vibe physics or whatever the fuck, man. It's like you can be like, you can be interested in chess, and then there's another dude that is like, oh, you don't know about the Caro-Kann opening in chess? Holy shit, you must be so bad. I demand more respect than you. Or like, I should have more respect. Like, there's assholes like that everywhere. They don't need to be enjoying vibe coding or vibe or AI or whatever the hell to have those kind of things. I just like, you know, they're everywhere. It doesn't fucking, holy fucking hell, man. I don't know. I feel like I'm going on a tangent at this point.
But not in reality. They have all the same skills that all the people who work so hard to train so hard to do the things, and all they need to do is just have the right prompts. The skills are at the tip of their fingertips. Oh my goodness, they can be a...
Oh my god, how can they, man? All they need to do is just have the right prompts and they have the skills. Holy shit, I cannot let this happen.
Famous theoretical physicist, and they don't even have to learn calculus. They just have to vibe physics and pull the LLM like a donkey to get to the edge of what's known. And do they need the ability to check their answers? No. They did it. And then, you know, after they've done this and they presented it to people, people will just be like, well, no, that's not art. I don't want to look at that. No, that's not a physics paper just because, like, technically it looks like a physics paper.
What are we... Did this guy write... Like, that's not a physics paper... Did that guy write a physics paper with AI? Like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, he's the CEO. I don't think he's interested in research at all. Like, you'll be surprised. Like, dude... Don't even get me started on like fucking students using AI to like for like research. And I mean, I'm happy with the decision that like universities made, but you have to disclose that you're using AI if you want to use AI. And the burden of like misinformation will be kind of like on both the one that is writing the paper, but also the university who kind of like accepts the AI paper or whatever the hell. But it's like, like students, that's how they learn, man. Like you had like, I remember like 2013, 23, right? I had like a psychology class, right? And it was like, what does I don't remember what it was, like Mead's. It was a specific theory, right? In Norwegian it was, so I don't remember the English word for it. But what does this theory like mean, right? And then one guy would just put it on ChatGPT. All of us would like read it and would be like, yeah, cool. And then the teacher would ask like, okay, can somebody explain to me this theory, right? And then the guy would be like, well, according to ChatGPT, and then he starts talking about what ChatGPT said, and then the teacher would be like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, you can certainly use fucking AI for learning. Like it doesn't like, what? Like apparently like you know, like reading highly condensed information from 1,000 of different sources, data sources, apparently is now a bad thing. Like, you know, like it's to me it feels like it's having like these librarians who like internet becomes a thing, and then you're like, oh well, if you're reading it digitally, anybody can like make a website and present it as fact and stuff like that. You have to go into a researched published book, and you have to make sure that the publisher is well trusted and well known, and so you need to have books. Well, judging by the amount of her books, I'm not gonna even lie if she makes a statement like that, but you kind of get me. It's kind of like being this like angry librarian who's like, I don't think you should be on the internet because there's a bunch of like fake information, and all of your information shouldn't come from Twitter. It should come from books that are well published, scientifically published books, which is not like könslitteratur, which is not like, you know, fiction and stuff like that. It's just like, what?
In classic crackpot fashion, they are angry. They are angry that you are not respecting them in the way they think they deserve to be respected, because even though they did not...
Okay, they're angry. I did not see any like anger from this clip. I mean, I kind of understand like where she's coming from, because she has like this mental image of like people where she kind of like, she talks about her like mental image about these people and how like horrible they are because they get angry over not being respected where they don't deserve respect. That's from her point of view, right? But I feel like, who are these people? Who are you even talking to? Like at this point, like what? Like it had like the guy, like the case that you were talking about, like he had none of that. He, like even this letter that you got from this thing, it's like nowhere did it say that like, hey, we should get more respect because we're using AI. Like nowhere did they like make this. This is all just kind of like you're just painting a mental picture of how people are supposed to behave when they're in this category. You just fit them in a category, and now you're explaining how they're supposed to behave in that category. That's exactly what you're doing right now.
Attain the skills through the traditional methods. Suddenly they have them because they're really good at prompting the donkey to the edge of physics. Something interesting I noticed in the comments of both of these videos is that I got a lot of people saying I was gatekeeping. I was gatekeeping physics from people who just want to do physics. And it's so...
Okay, when you're on the internet and you hear a bunch of like, this is why I'm saying like don't read comments, because like this gatekeeping bullshit, there's also like, what the fuck, where does that come from? You know, like what? Like if something, I feel like her example here with the clouds was fucking amazing. That's not gatekeeping physics. That's like, oh, okay, she talked about fragment. Oh, fucking, I forgot the term. But she talked about like the shit that is formed in the clouds. I can research about fragments or whatever the fuck it was, and I can go like read more about it. That's not gatekeeping physics. She's like literally just explaining how it works and like how people haven't figured out what are those mathematical equations that form these kind of things. And it's like, well, another question I would ask is like, do we fucking need them? But that's beyond the point, because it's like, I feel like hardcore physicists would say, well, we fucking need mathematical equations for everything. But yeah.
Weird, because they don't hear themselves. Because in this video, I tell the billionaires, like, if you want to be a famous physicist, why don't you just go to college and learn physics first? Like, you have the time. Surely you have the ability. Just learn physics first. Like, it's weird that you just keep talking about how you want to know it. You could just go know it. And that is the opposite of gatekeeping. That is opening the door and saying, you're free to learn physics.
Oh, like that? Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I mean, like, the thing is, with ChatGPT, it's free and it's safer, because, like, oh my god. I don't know this guy's life. I don't know this guy's, like, CEO life or whatever the fuck. But I'm guessing he also has, like, a shit ton of calls and all of this fucking shit. It's like, I have no fucking clue how the fuck his day is working. Because, I'm gonna be honest, I think, like, this idea that, like, oh yeah, these people have, like, all the time in the world, I feel like they're busy people of a reason. Like, they make a bunch of money because their whole mindset is making a bunch of money. So, like, they take money at each opportunity they can, you know? But because if they wouldn't be in that position at all. They wouldn't, like, the people who are millionaires are the people who really think about money, are really value making money, and they would rather use money to make more money than use the money for themselves or whatever the hell. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's like, only you have to be a special kind of person to do that. And like, when you're like telling that person, well, go apply for a physics course, they'll be like, well, how the fuck is that gonna make me money? How the fuck is that gonna, like, you know? Meanwhile, like, chatting a few chat prompts, they'll be like, oh yeah, you lose nothing from that. You know, you're like, oh yeah, I'm just a couple of sentences, boom, you're done. You don't need to fucking enroll into like a 3-year bachelor's degree of physics and like meet up and have exams while also having a fucking company. You don't need to do that. You just ask ChatGPT, well, what's the latest trends in physics right now, huh? How do we figure them out, you know? It's like, will he be like a, I don't know, the next level, like he will get like a physicist prize, gets like a Nobel physics prize or something? Not really, no, because he chose to like be an entrepreneur and be like one of the greatest things, and all shit like that. But it's like, oh my god, bro, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going with this, bro. I feel like I'm yapping too much, and maybe somebody will yap on my yap, man, and we will have like yapception. I feel like that would be fucking pretty cool, man. But yeah, next.
And people will stop making fun of you if you actually know what you're talking about. The opposite of gatekeeping. But that is not what these AI people want. They want and demand the exact same response from their AI gobbledygook, garbage written physics paper as like a physics paper written by some.
Yeah, I have no, like, this statement, I have no clue where it's coming from, because for me, I don't feel like anybody fucking demands anything. But that's just like, maybe I'm not in the fucking echo chamber of like people who demand shit from other people. Like I make myself to stare away clear from that, and I watch either these kind of YouTube videos or fucking anime for all that. All I care, man. I read fucking papers and that's it. And there's like in a research paper, there's nobody who like makes an article saying that like, oh, I made this research for the sake of keeping my nobility and saving the humanity from its grace. No, you get straight to the fucking point, man, and you need to like skim through it a little bit as well to get even more to the fucking point. But you understand it, you know. It's just like, it's a different type of person, you know. Some people love like the banter, drama, whatever the hell that gets them clicks, and I feel like that's what she's kind of catering towards, you know, these people who have like, we're kind of like tired of these other people that you hear on the internet that are like, I don't know, they want to have respect or some shit like that, which is like, man, like, bro, like, look at any small little corner in the world, there will be like some weird shit fucking happening, you know. Like, it's just like, it's not even like what the hell is this? Like, just click on it and it's probably like some weird ass fucking shit that you can like make a video about. But that's kind of the thing. It's just like this endless fucking yap hole, yap fest, yap whatever the hell. And I have no fucking clue what the fuck I'm yapping up at this point. I don't even know if I want to upload this video, but it's cool nonetheless. It's cool nonetheless to kind of just make a video of this.
Some dude who works at the University of Utah who's been studying laser ablation for 47 years. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, those two things will never be comparable because the AI is not making a physics paper. It's not doing physics. Why would you expect someone to spend any time reading the garbage that it spit out? That is why no one is taking you seriously, because you are not taking you seriously. Why do you expect people to...
Oh, well, what if you feed the AI 50,000 different physics papers? But then again, certainly... I can certainly tell you something about physics, that's for sure. And that's the thing, it's all about how you use it, you know. It's just like, well, you use that AI, you want respect. Well, yeah, but it's like that sounds stupid, yes, but that it's the same thing as like somebody like just feeling entitled for the sake of feeling entitled, you know, that like, oh, you come to a job and you're like, oh, well, I am not here for you to hire me. I am here looking for how good you guys are gonna be for me to join your team or whatever the fuck. It's just like you find entitled people like that everywhere. It doesn't need to be in like AI bro world or whatever the fuck she's talking about.
To read the nonsense, you spent 25 minutes prompting from an LLM when there are people who are actually doing the thing. There are people who are actually doing physics. No one is going to respond to this with anything other than like, this is nonsense, please stop wasting my time. And if you ever have a conversation with these people, it is so exhausting because they know that. They're like, I don't have any physics training. I just really like physics. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know any math, but it makes sense to me. Read my LLM paper. And it's just, look at this 3-page mess of sentences that solves gravity. It just solves gravity. And it's just like, what do you mean it solves gravity? What do you think that means? It's nonsense. And it's so nonsense that you can't even explain why it's nonsense. It's like the not even wrong problem. And it's just...
New interception of... Or it's like r/LLM physics? Is that a thing? Quantum mechanics and new theory of gravity? Dude, this is some science fiction shit. What the fuck am I? Penrose's view, gravity collapse, classical Ricardo consciousness experience. What the fuck is this? Dude, this is like too far gone. Even I don't fucking understand what the fuck this thing is about, man. Like, what the fuck?
You can't be mad for people ignoring this when you spent 0 time on it. At least learn physics first. It's Play-Doh, it's not food. Do you know what I mean? This is an example of what I'm talking about from a Reddit thread. If a smart person like me is absolutely mind-blown by ChatGPT, why is my extended network, who are not exactly mentally challenged, not seeing it? I am borderline frustrated that I am basically alone in my feelings and amazement. The only place I found that it is really getting it is this subreddit. He claims that ChatGPT is worsening the intellectual gap because really smart people like him with an IQ of 150 understand how useful it is. They understand these smart people are using it and their skills are just growing and growing and growing. They have the world at their fingertips, and us dum-dums who don't think it's useful are falling further and further behind. Oh my goodness. To be fair to this poster though, this post is like 2 years old, and I feel like ChatGPT was a lot more impressive 2 years ago because people were falling for the, oh my god, just wait, if it's this good now, just wait, and it's like still the same. It's like, it's summarized the thing again. I think people today are more aware of its limitations, so I'm sure this guy doesn't feel this way today. But what an embarrassing thing to say. For the people that fall into this hole, this chat box hole, they are convinced that they are the ones that know what they're doing. They are the only ones using this tool. They are so smart, and they stop talking to people about it, and they just focus on being stuck in this chat box hole. They are just isolated from the world. They are inside their subreddits where they all have different theories of physics, and they're trying to get the LLMs to rank who has the best. They're the future. Look at them pushing the boundaries of physics by having a text conversation with an LLM about physics they don't understand. There's been a lot of reporting on the sycophant aspect of these chat box. Just the algorithm behind these chat box is trained to keep you posting, right? They want you to stay on it. And one of the ways that ends up, the algorithm behind these chat box is from the sycophant aspect of these chat box. Just the algorithm behind these chat box is trained to keep you posting, right? They want you to stay on it. And one of the ways that ends up appearing is that these things are just insanely flattering. Look at this YouTube comment again. They want me to respond, great question. And like, again, there's nothing wrong with this comment, but like, great question. Like, who talks like that? It's like, no one has a conversation where every interjection is just like, oh my gosh, what a thoughtful response. It's weird. Unless, you're talking to a chat box where they literally compliment your every single thought. Most people, I think, would be annoyed by this. Like, they would recognize this from far away as like one of those tactics from like How to Influence People books or whatever. But this very specific type of person who thinks they're onto something takes this as evidence that they are in fact onto something. If you're already convinced you're doing vibe physics, and then you prompt your chat box with like, hey, what if dark energy is caused by the expansion of dark matter? Is that crazy? And your chat box responds, of course that's not crazy. That's a really interesting idea. Should we try to develop that? And you're like, yeah. Oh my god. And then because you're onto something, you ask your chat box to derive an equation that relates dark energy to dark matter, and it has an expansion term in it, and it just spits something out, and you're like, wow, I don't understand math, but it spits something out. I must be onto something. I did it. If you were talking to a physicist and you said, hey, what if dark energy is just caused by the expansion of dark matter? The physicist would be like, wait, what? I don't
It's like...
think you understand dark energy. What do you mean expansion? What do you mean? And they couldn't answer because it's nonsense. It's a nonsense thing to say. And the conversation would end. But since they're isolated in their little chat box space where they have the tools of physics, they're pulling the donkey to the edge of the vibes, they think they're onto something, even though it's nonsense. But ChatGPT would never tell you you're speaking nonsense. It would never say you're being silly because you're paying $28,000 a month and they want you to keep paying for that. Shout out to HG Modernism. Go check out their channel, who linked me to this subreddit called LLM Physics. And it's just a few people having the same discussion about their different models of physics, about how they're onto something, about how nobody's listening. And they literally think having a discussion with a chat box means that they are onto something. They do things like this, and they think that that counts as their
What's
idea
the
having
problem in
merit.
that?
Like, hey,
It's like we're getting to the point where like, oh my god, flat earthers believe the earth is flat. Yes, there are some people out there who believe the earth is flat. You know, it's just like it's like what, you know, it's like I think we all kind of know that this is just bullshit. You like, we're just making fun of flat earthers at this point. Like I'm gonna be fucking honest. Like this video is like making fun of flat earthers. I do not think that I do not think that, you know, like yeah, it's just retarded. I don't fucking know, man. What else to say?
hey ChatGPT, give me a brutally honest response to my theory. And then ChatGPT, which is very complimentary, is just like, it's great. I love it. And they don't understand that that's a nonsense thing to do. It just makes no sense. There is no system of ranking theories to rate which ones are more likely to be good or correct. Like it doesn't, it's just a deep misunderstanding of how physics works in conversation with an algorithm, which will only ever say, wow, that's a great idea. I'm really impressed with what you've done here. I do understand how billionaires fall for this. Like they're just surrounded by yes men all the time. Every conversation they have is like a conversation with a chat box where people are just like, wow, great idea. You're so smart. Wow. Oh my God. But like normal people should understand that this is a fake way to have a conversation. Normal people should see that no matter what they say, their chat box is always like, wow, great idea, right? Normal people should see right through this. Okay, so if you're the type of anti-intellectual who thinks that chat boxes can do physics for you, and you're the type of person who, when receiving pushback from people they're having a conversation with, kind of just falls deeper into the internet and subreddit and more chat boxes, you're just like completely isolating yourself from any opinion that disagrees with you, and you're the type of person who succumbs to flattery as if it's genuine, the next step is delusion.
I mean, if you were the type of person who would have stopped watching this video like minute 3, I'm gonna be fucking honest. I don't know who the fuck she's talking to at this point. Like, genuinely, like, what the fuck?
And that's bad. That's not good. And that's what I wanted to point out with this video. If you find yourself going down this path, if a friend or a family member has sent you this video saying that they're worried
People
about
are becoming obsessed with ChatGPT. We're sure.
if you find yourself going down this path, if a friend or a family member has sent
People are becoming obsessed with ChatGPT and spiraling into severe delusions. What these bots are saying is worse than delusion. It's causing enormous harm. Oh my god, bro. Like, it's just, in my opinion, this is just nonsense. This is just like, what the I don't even want to know, man. It's like, replace the word ChatGPT, replace it with internet, and tell me, just tell me what you think. People are becoming obsessed with internet and spiraling into severe delusions. Like, what these comments are saying is worsening delusions and is causing enormous harm. Should you remove the internet now? Like, you understand what I'm trying to say? It's just like, it's just drama for the sake of being drama, in my opinion. I think it's just like this narrative that like ChatGPT is addicting is just stupid, in my opinion. Because it's a tool. It all depends on how you use it. Just like internet is quote unquote addicting, it's like it all depends on how you use it. Like, it's just like, what? You know, it's like video games are the #1 addiction to a child, says a study. You know, and it's just like, okay, should we remove all the video games now? Should we like hate video games now? You know, like, you understand where it's catering towards here? It's like trying to cater towards people who are like anti-ChatGPT, anti all this AI stuff, and just saying like, oh well, look, I told you so, man. Look at it. Look at this futurism news article, which is like, the fuck are these claims, man? I bet they didn't even have a survey, man. I bet they didn't even fucking have a survey. I bet this thing is just saying it just for the sake of saying it without like any fucking research whatsoever. It's just like, oh, there's been like a couple of videos and this is just like all my opinion, you know, and there's not single like point of like actual like research into going into this. It's just like, oh, it's just buzz for the sake of making buzz. That's like what news are about. It's just fucking nonsense buzz for the sake of making news, nonsense buzz. That's why I clicked on this video. It's just a fucking nonsense buzz for the sake of being nonsense buzz, and that's why I make a video about it, because I want to do something fucking productive while I'm watching this nonsense fucking buzz video. Oh my god.
Sent you this video saying that they're worried about you. Chat boxes are not therapists. Chat boxes cannot do physics. The algorithms have been trained to complement you. They have been trained to keep you posting, and you should log off. If you want to...
They have been trained to keep you posting. What the fuck? Oh my god. No. That's the most what the fuck statement I've ever heard, bro. That's actually like one of the most that's one of the most fucking stupid statements I've ever fucking heard. I'm a bit fucking honest, man. Keep posting for what, bro? Keep posting because you want information. Hey, ChatGPT, how tall is Mount Everest? Hey, ChatGPT, what's the history of Mount Everest? Hey, ChatGPT, when was Mount Everest built? Oh my god, you're addicted, bro. Why do you want to learn so much about Mount Everest? Bro, I just like Mount Everest. Oh no, you must be addicted to ChatGPT. Bro, but I just want to find out more about Mount Everest. No! It's just like, what? You just love knowledge. You just love learning, you know? It's like philosophicum or whatever the fuck it's called. It's just like the love of knowledge, you know? It's just like, what? You just want to learn more. And you ask ChatGPT to learn more, you know? If something is better than scrolling TikTok. Like, what happened? Where's all the fucking TikTok is ruining people's brains? Oh, now that TikTok is banned, people are like, oh, hell yeah, we stopped that, bro. Holy shit, no more brain rot, holy shit. But like, now that AI comes along, we're like, oh no, the parliament needs to ban AI now. We need to ban fucking ChatGPT. Like, what the fuck? Like, well, where are we going, bro? Like, what is this shit?
Make art. People will be way more excited to see your first ever charcoal drawing.
She knows, she says about art here, which is like I start to completely understand like what community she's coming from, because yeah, that community fucking hates AI. I'm gonna be honest. It's just like yeah, I'm not gonna comment on art because I have I just feel that if I'm gonna start going into the art topic, this is gonna be another like fucking half an hour or something shit like that. What I can just say is just like art is a different thing, because like one thing is just like you're trying to summarize something and making sentences and all this kind of stuff, and meanwhile art is like actual creative work. So like, what are you doing creative work for? And that's like, you have to question yourself these kind of things, whether you use an LLM or you don't.
Than they will be to sit through a 10-minute animated garbage LLM Rugrats. But what if Studio Ghibli?
Well, I just sat in a 39-minute video of a girl rambling about physics, and I quite enjoyed it. You know, and I don't know. Maybe I won't if an AI makes it. Maybe not. I don't fucking know, man. But it's like, I don't know this person. I have no freaking clue who she is. This is the first time I've seen her face. You know? And it's like, but I still decide to check it out and, you know, watch it. And it's just like, for some people, you like, some purists will tell you, no, you have to know the person before you like reach intelligence level with them. You have to watch videos of people that you already know before. It's like, who the fuck thinks that way? Like, if you've been on the internet, you know, you understand, like that's just nonsense. You know, it's like we consume other people's content that we have like no clue who they are at all, but we just enjoy it, and it's just like, it doesn't fucking matter like who they are, like AI or fucking whatever the hell. And it's like some people you enjoy more than others. You know, Studio Ghibli, I personally prefer Mappa. I personally like Mappa animations over Studio Ghibli, but that's just it's just my preference, you know. And I am probably in the minority when it comes to that, because I think like whenever you ask somebody on the street if they like anime, it's probably gonna be something with Studio Ghibli, because it's just like, it's the most mainstream, casual, friendly anime to get into, you know, anime studio to get into. You know, their movies are great, Miyazaki is great. I have nothing against it. I'm not saying I hate Studio Ghibli, not at all. I love, well, love is a strong word, it depends how you define it, but I think Miyazaki is a pretty cool dude. I think Studio Ghibli is a pretty cool studio. Like, I have nothing against the studio, none of that. No, but it's just like, if you ask my favorite studio, I would rather watch Mappa rather than Studio Ghibli. But it's just like, that's just preference. Some people might, I prefer AI content over anime content. That is just like it's up for the individual. What are you gonna fucking butcherize them because they like watching AI videos? Like, who the fuck cares, man? They like AI videos. They like AI videos. It doesn't fucking matter, man. Like, if some, like, you can still have humans in videos, you can still have AI videos. It's just like, you can have them intertwined with each other. You don't need to fucking, I mean, at least right now the narrative is that like, oh, AI content produced is slop. I swear we're probably gonna be heading into that, like, people who watch AI videos are bad. They have no idea, they're less intellectual. I feel like we're gonna get into that point, you know. But I feel like if we're gonna get into that point, because you're bashing on AI watchers, and you yourself are like a human, so human watchers would be interested in you, but people who watch AI and people who are like in the middle, they're gonna be left out, so you're just making like us versus them. So, like, I feel like that's what the narrative could go in like 5 years or something. That'd be like, oh yeah, people who watch these AI videos, I don't understand how they're people, like what the fuck? Like, we're gonna probably get into some of that kind of shit in the medium, which is just like, what the fuck are we here, man? Like, well, who needs this shit?
Garbage, AI garbage. No one wants to see that. They would much rather see you put an effort into a thing and make a thing.
Yeah, no one wants to see that, bro. If an AI video is interesting enough, I'll be like, hey, sure, let's go, you know? If I don't like the AI video, I don't like the AI video, you know? It has nothing to do if it's produced or not produced by AI. There's a lot of AI P word that is like better produced than actual, you know? And so it's like, you know, is it all of a sudden worse quality just because it's like made by AI? Well, it actually is that. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I don't want to get there.
Is the end of this video touch grass? That's the worst.
Join my Prompt Academy, the world's first prompt engineering course, starting free. That's $9 per month.
You know how the human brain forms a thought? It's very similar. Got 'em. And it's so funny because their argument is like, you can't discount AI trash because sometimes humans spit out garbage trash too. And it's just, but that's not an argument. Like, that's why we have experts. That's why people get training. Like, yeah, if I needed emergency surgery to get my appendix out, I would rather have a pretty good machine surgeon do that than some random guy on the street. But that's not the choice. The choice is a pretty good machine surgeon versus a medical doctor. And she's done this surgery 4,700 times.
But what if she uses machines to perform the surgery as well? Like what? Like, I genuinely don't get it, man. I just don't know. I have no fucking clue. Yes, the expert thingy, but that's like, nobody's saying that AI is an expert. Like, what? It's just a bunch of data collected over the internet. It doesn't have to be an expert in anything, but it can certainly help you when you're trying to search through Google. Instead of searching through Google, you can search through an AI, and it will give you like a more condensed prompt that is made for you, by your question, rather than like, because like you, I don't know if you guys have programmed ever, but like when you're like stuck into how C++ handles like memory leaks with mcopy or some shit like that, a mem file or whatever the hell, right? And then you search it on Stack Overflow and you get a question that's like barely scratching your problem, which is like it's kind of there, but it's kind of in the same ballpark, but it's just too far away. It's just like not doing exactly the same thing, and you're like, what the fuck, bro? I'm so close to fucking fixing this, right? But then in the chatbot, it just straight up just gives you the answer. Just like, oh yeah, here's the reason why a code is failing, and you're like, oh fuck, that makes sense. It's the way memory dumps happens and stuff like that. And it's just like, what? It's just, you know, I don't fucking know. Do you have to be an expert to just know more about things? Like, it's just, well, what? Like, I feel like people's definitions of experts as well is just like, experts is a status thing. It's also how much knowledge you have. So like, if you're an expert, you have higher status than somebody who is not an expert, right? It's the reason why we have art. Something is art and something is not art. It means it has higher status than something that is not art. So, and let's say an object has the whole point that why we're like, I'm talking about semantics at this point, but the whole reason why you're referring to something as art is because it has higher status than something that is not art. And there's the whole kind of like, the whole reason why we define it as our art, you know? And yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna say that like in my opinion, like, yeah, it's just, I'm not gonna go there. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Goodbye.